We're filming!
Keep it down.
Oh.
The Jeep Cherokee XJ has long been a vehicle that has piqued my curiosity. Sold in the United States from 1984 to 2001, it was ubiquitous through most of my childhood. Everyone had one. Some people had several. The baddies and the Goonies had one. So did the girl I dated my freshman year in high school. I had a friend who put Metal Militia stickers on his and painted it black in bed liner. Even the filthy bastard who stole my girlfriend the summer after my freshman year in college had one. And while prices for anything with Wrangler written on it have always been high for years, it wasn't until recently that XJ prices started to tick up. For quite a long time, if you wanted a tough-as-nails off-roader with a bulletproof engine and a solid front and rear axle on the cheap, this was your go-to. So, when we had the opportunity to take a trip with James and Natalie from 2A Overland, we jumped on it. Now, if you don't know who 2A Overland is, they're a growing channel centered around both the outdoor experiences James and Natalie encounter with their dog Bean, but it's also quickly becoming a great resource for how-to and DIY tutorials centered around the XJ.
We are James and Natalie with 2A Overland. We explore all of Arizona in our 1996 Jeep Cherokee. I bought it bone stock for $2,800. It had about 145,000 miles. The reason why I chose the Cherokee was actually I wanted to get into snowboarding and I guess winter camping, and I didn't want to get a Wrangler with a soft top or a removable top like that where it could leak, or all my buddies will be cold in the back or anything. I wanted to fit all of our gear in the back and 4 or 5 people. And from there it just kind of snowballed. I was missing door panels, I had a couple issues with it, and I'd say within the first 6 months I threw a 4.5-inch rough country lift on it, some 32 10.5 15s, and from there we just started four-wheeling with it and taking it out, camping, and just having fun with it as much as possible. It's literally extremely easy to work on. I mean, if you're mechanically inclined whatsoever, you can easily replace anything on it once you do your research. And what I like is there is so many outlets online that you can look up parts, diagrams, how people have done it, and you don't need a doctorate from a 4-year university to work on this thing.
No.
It's, I mean, underneath the shade tree, I literally work on this thing with a 120-piece Stanley mechanics set and a 14-piece Harbor Freight wrench set, and I've done everything to this. I mean, yeah, I've had to buy some bigger sockets and stuff to do the transfer case and little weird stuff. 95% of it, you could, pull out one drawer in your toolbox and do anything. We've gotten into some hairy situations with this, and it's been extremely reliable with getting us out of it. And people crap on the XJ, like, oh, it's a dumpster, like with the memes and everything. But if you're the budget-minded overlander or off-roader, explorer, whatever you are, it's a perfect platform in a way, just because there is a lot of them. If you do break apart, every O'Reilly's, AutoZone, any of those auto shops in your hometown or in the town you're in can get the part with no issues, and if not, they can get it overnight, and you should be able to fix it on the trail.
That ease of do-it-yourself work has meant James and Natalie have been able to maintain and improve their XJ themselves, saving thousands in shop labor. Because of this, they've been able to apply that money to some luxuries that have greatly improved their camping experience.
So what's the favorite thing that you've done to this so far? Like your favorite thing you had to pick?
Mine's the fridge.
Yeah, her answer is the fridge. You can't really beat having, we haven't had ice cream at camp yet just because of the power consumption. And we don't really have too many frozen things in our fridge, but I mean, just the other night we had Chips Ahoy or Reese's Chips Ahoy cookies, and they were nice and cold. And I mean, our beers are cold. I mean, we have a gallon of water in there that's cold. We can have any of our meals.
My reasoning is when the ice starts melting in the cooler, all your food that may not be fully sealed is going to get waterlogged and ruined. So I just prefer to not have to deal with draining the water out. And at this point, I feel like it's paid for itself because
Right.
we've used it so much.
Yeah, I mean, we had issues with the fridge at our home, and we used it as a fridge for 6 months. I want to say maybe longer.
Yep.
And I mean, you can use it as a beer fridge in the garage. I mean, there's so many different options for it. It's just not a camping fridge.
Being a more than competent DIYer, James set them up for success in the power department.
We have our auxiliary battery set up. So I had that in the back for, I want to say, almost 2 years. I had it in the back and I ran everything off of it. I mean, the fridge, we would charge all of our accessories. I had solar hookups, everything on it. And then once I got the cowl intake, I relocated the battery underneath the hood, so it'll leave us more space in the back for more gear for longer trips like this one. I built the battery box on my own. I used a ballistic fab battery box. I just bought some steel from a local steel place, a metal shop, and I bought all the wire off Amazon, the Blue Sea System ACR to connect the starter battery to the auxiliary battery. And before I started the under hood swap and I had the old setup in the back of the vehicle, I did the main 7 wires, the ignition, the power, the ground, all those wires. I upgraded those. I bought a 136 amp alternator that went in place. It was 136, the stock one's a 96, so I got the higher output alternator, but I had to modify the bracket for it. Then I went to the auxiliary battery setup. I would say we could run our 70, I think it's a 75 liter or 75 or 70 liter Dometic, the dual zone fridge. We could easily run it for 2 days, 2.5 days without any solar hookup whatsoever. It's just a yellow top Optima we have underneath the hood, and that's literally our house battery, and then I have everything else ran to our starter battery. I mean, the battery was the most expensive thing. Other than that, I mean, you could do the whole thing for maybe $300 minus a battery.
James and Natalie's XJ build is far from complete, as they filled me in on the list of improvements they intend on tackling and featuring on their channel in the near future.
I think downsizing the bumpers. They're heavy. We took the tire carrier, like the swing arm, off for a while, and we could feel the difference.
Yeah.
So I think getting something still durable and strong, but not so heavy.
The next upgrade is actually, we ordered seats for it, PRP seats. We kind of went all out on that just because that's what you have to sit in to drive the vehicle. So that's another comfort item that you don't want to really skimp on. And then from there, we're going to do vinyl flooring on the inside, an extended fuel tank in it, 35-inch tires.
Little windows too, what are those called?
Oh yeah, we do want to do vent windows on the sides. I guess the older Cherokees had them.
The wings?
The wing windows, yep, those are awesome.
When you're going 55 down the road and you open it up and it just blows the air in your face, they're amazing.
We have one right now. We have one for the driver's side. We want to track down one for the passenger. I guess if any of you dudes have Cherokees or are interested, please comment. Let Matt know. I mean, if you subscribe, let me know. I mean, on Instagram, anything. Just let us know, because we are really looking for those wing windows. That's a really cool retro thing we want to do, because the older Cherokees or older trim packages had them.
If you're interested in seeing more of what's possible in the DIY realm, 2A Overland is definitely worth a look. But if you're not fully convinced, I'll let James and Natalie take it home and tell you what you can expect from their channel.
I think our channels, for us, we really enjoy just going on adventures, and we came up with the idea to just start filming them, putting them on YouTube. If people watch them, great. If not, at least we have that.
I guess just the main goal is just 2 normal people that want to explore in a budget-minded vehicle with DIY upgrades, and kind of show that anybody could do this. You don't need an expensive rig. That's kind of the motivation around our channel. I mean, yeah, we are for the Cherokee owner and showing off all the upgrades and what you can do to a, you know, up to 20-year-old Jeep. But honestly, our channel is for the everyday person. And I mean, yeah, it's not perfect. It's fun, and we're here to make memories, but also to build a community in a way. So I mean, if anybody has an issue or has questions, I mean, I could talk all day about that. I'm a nerd for this thing, and I constantly try to look up ways to upgrade it or to, you know,